surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Venezuela, the best in baseball.
That was, I believe, Kevin Burkhardt. No, Joe Davis, I think, was on the call last night. Yeah, Joe Davis for Fox Sports. Thank you to them. We need to turn Drew's mic on, actually. We need to. We good?
There you go, Drew.
You there?
Yeah.
All right. Hello.
I guess we got to patronize him now with the best in baseball.
You all right?
No.
What happened to you?
Because if we're gonna,
how much did you bet on the Americans? Just be honest.
Well, I didn't bet on Venezuela.
So how much did you bet on the Americans?
You know. I mean, there's no use watching it if you can't bet on it.
Good morning.
Joke.
It's good to see you.
Why did we not play our best players?
What do you want me to say? It's not a real event.
Well, they're jumping around like it is.
I understand. God bless them. I'm happy for them. They're enjoying themselves. Look, I cannot get worked up. I don't care. I don't care about the World Baseball Classic. It's one of those things. It's happening, so I'm watching. I don't care.
Aaron Judge.
I'm not going to pretend to care.
The Judge has risen. Yeah, he sure has. To a 222 average.
Glad you had Mason Miller to go to in the ninth inning. Glad you could go to Mason Miller in a big spot. I don't know if you heard. Mark DeRosa said they had arrangement with the Padres.
How about the fact that
they were only allowed to pitch him if they had a lead in the ninth inning?
How about the fact that the Cubs called the Venezuela team and said you can't pitch Palencia, and they're we're pitching him.
Well, I mean, I don't think.
Well, that's what they said.
Yeah.
They said the Cubs called and said he can't pitch tomorrow, and they're like, we're pitching him.
Very
don't care if his arm falls off.
Very legitimate event they've got going on there. Very legitimate event.
Well, Skubal only pitched one game.
Yes, correct. That's how you can tell how legitimate it is. But he was there.
Dude, Aaron Judge sucks. I had this conversation with my son last night. We're watching the game, and Ethan just usually sits there. He doesn't say much. We're just watching it.
Makes me really happy.
And I'm like, this dude totally sucks. And Ethan's like, Dad, you're crazy. He hits like 60 home runs. I said, this guy hasn't had a big hit since the Wallflowers.
There you go.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, but it wasn't as good as 3 Marlenas. I promise you
But
that.
what are we doing? All he does is he is like A-Rod. All of his hits come in June against the I was going to say Senators. What are they called now?
The Senators.
The Nationals. Open that thing up for me. It's already getting hot in here. And I'm watching, and
I don't think the sun is going to help the temperature.
But it just this dude sucks. In the big moment, he sucks.
He's getting hot now.
A couple years ago against the Indians, he and what's his name hit those home runs. That's all he's ever done. That is all he's ever done.
Good.
Who else hit the other one? Stanton?
Yeah.
Didn't he hit one too, Judge?
Yeah, I think
Soto did too, I thought.
Yeah.
Now we're not talking about Soto. Another
Are
guy
you mad at Grant?
another guy that sucks.
Is
No.
Grant on your list
What's
today?
up, Grant?
Hey, Drew.
No, my
He had it in the
my
US
cup is leaking though.
Oh, that's not great. Can
Can you grab me a napkin
you
or
run
something,
into the
Grant?
kitchen and get some paper towels? For
Thanks,
Drew,
buddy.
If you don't mind. Thank you.
The Judge sucks. When's the last time you had a hit that mattered?
I don't have
honestly.
I don't have that. Well, if he had hit one last night, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yes, it would have.
It wouldn't have. It's the World Baseball Classic. It's not a thing.
Dude. Yeah.
They're not allowed to play players.
Yeah, but
It's not a real event. Stop it.
it is to everyone but us.
This is the list.
It is to everyone but us.
Here's the list of things that concern me about the World Baseball Classic, and here's how I feel about the U.S. losing. Is Gunnar Henderson healthy? All good, man. That's the list of things. That
No, he's on my list too.
What are you mad at? Because he popped out.
Yeah.
In the ninth inning. Everybody, we turned our.
I mean, by the time we got to the
lonely
seventh
eyes.
inning, we were losing 2-0. I was pissed. I'm like, because I'm like you. I generally don't care,
Don't care at all.
but I care when we're losing.
'Cause you're watching.
I care when we're losing
You're watching.
to these creeps.
All right, this is gonna pain me,
All right.
but this is the deal. And
Did you? Are you got Justin Rose fever like the rest of us after last night?
let's talk. Drew Forrester. By the way, I need you to get in.
TGL.
Hang on a second. You need to get into the bracket contest.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's in the thing.
Right.
I'm actually boycotting it after what they did to UMBC.
They couldn't beat Howard. I mean,
They had no business
what were they
playing
doing against
Howard.
Michigan? I don't disagree with you, but they
They
didn't
had
beat
no.
them.
They had no business.
Kind of on them.
They had no business playing Howard.
I don't disagree. Now, you need to get into the bracket contest.
Okay.
You only have one day.
All right. All right.
I'm hounding you about it.
Okay.
I know I've seen your game before.
Do I have to pick the teams?
Yes, you have to pick the team.
I hate doing this.
I understand.
I'm like
Here's-
Pat Kennedy.
Here's the deal. You guys have done.
Remember Pat would come in every year,
I know.
and Pat would come in with like a
Right?
notebook full of stuff,
Legitimate. He
and
was
I
our
would
in-
say,
he was our insider.
and I would say, well, my wife went to go see the Three Doors Down in Greensboro, so she's taking them. Like Pat would come in with a notebook, and 9 of his Sweet 16 were gone by the first weekend.
100%. Now, you guys have done a good job, but not a good enough job of filling the bracket contest. And so, I said yesterday, if you didn't fill it,
I thought we were talking sports.
chill. I said yesterday, if you didn't fill it, again, at Glenn Clark on Venmo, Glenn Clark 180 on PayPal, Glenn Clark Radio on Cash App, $20, winner take half to show your soft side, an incredible animal charity. As soon as you send me the Venmo or the PayPal, I will send you the link. You get in, but you got to do it now because the games start tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, the real games, not
This-
the ones from last night.
Thank you. Now, I said yesterday, if you guys hadn't filled it up, that when Drew got here, I was going to let him talk about whatever he wanted to talk about. And this is going to be very painful for me.
Wow,
But right now,
what the hell?
whatever Drew wants to talk about, this is on you.
Oh my
This
gosh,
is on you.
It is on you.
John Colson got in. It's not his fault. Grant could have stopped this. He hasn't gotten in. He said, I don't even know who the teams are. Neither does anybody else, Grant. No one knows. Hey, with your life on the line, name a player from Alabama.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
We're both going down together, Drew.
Marlon Humphrey.
There we go.
Oh, never
There
mind.
you go. That's why he's our guy. That's why we bring him in here.
And the big dude who had the alligator in his bathtub.
That's right. The big dude.
What
that
was his
had
name?
He was a big dude.
What was his name? Remember we saw him with the weed coming out of the gas station
yeah.
across from the Chinese place with
Yeah.
the weed coming out of his car like he was in Fast Times
He
at
was
Ridgemont High.
massive. What was that guy's name?
What was his name?
Oh, my
Defensive
God.
tackle.
Oh, my God. It was Terrence Cody.
Terrence Cody.
Was
It was like when he opened the door, it was like Spicoli fell out of his van.
hilarious. I love that guy.
And that's back when weed wasn't allowed in the league.
Correct.
Now,
Well,
if you can.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was still allowed.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so it's your show. What are we discussing today? You can stop this. You can stop this. But you got to get in the bracket contest right now. $20. Venmo, Glenn Clark. PayPal, Glenn Clark 180. Cash App, Glenn Clark Radio. Or if you have some other bizarre app that you use, tell me. Whatever you think your excuse is for not getting in, I'm not going to allow it. I'll work with you. I'll come meet you and get $20 in legal tender. If you want to give me pennies, I'll come get them because we're doing it for charity. Drew Forrester.
I have recently gone down this deep rabbit hole for some reason about how freaking great Van Halen was with David Lee Roth.
Okay.
And how unbelievable their first 4 or 5 albums were. And how unbelievable, how incredibly underrated Fair Warning was. And I've just been like nonstop for about a week, just going back and listening to all of the first 4 albums.
You happy about what you've done?
The first, I don't know what started it. But I've gone back and listened to all of those first 4 albums. Van Halen, the debut album, Van Halen, then Van Halen 2, Women and Children First, and then Fair Warning.
guys feel
And
good
how-
about yourselves?
And I know most of this is all done before you were born. But, dude, this album was so good it was crazy.
As we all know, Gary Sharon was the best lead singer.
Yeah,
Van
right.
Halen. We all know that.
It got to number 5. I didn't even know this. So This Is Love. The album peaked at number 5, which I got to look this up, and since I have time, I will, to see where it fared against their other albums in the David Lee Roth, era.
The Van Halen 1 and 2 did not crack the top 5.
So by the time they got around to Fair Warning, they were rolling.
Fair Warning hit 5. Diver Down got to 3.
Did it really? Diver Down was amazing.
Yeah, and 1984 got the number 2.
Big Bad Bill, right? Was that the name of one of the songs?
Oh, Grant wants to do something about it. He's trying to stop this.
No, I'm not trying to stop
He's
Drew.
trying to stop.
Did you get in?
this.
Now I
doesn't-
did, yeah.
Do you know who Van Halen
Are you
is?
sure you sent it to
Of
the right
course I know
guy?
Van Halen.
I'm a little bit
Okay,
nervous.
take it easy. Don't get
Little bit
caustic.
nervous
No,
I might
no,
have
I
sent 20
wasn't.
bucks to a random person.
How old are you?
24.
Are you 20? Because you should know.
John Pot for teacher.
Good. Well, that.
You really
Hang on a
got
second.
me.
Yeah, you were okay.
Yeah.
Hang
Your
on a second.
parents were
Let me
big.
see who you just sent $20 to, Grant, because I'm a little bit nervous it wasn't me.
Thank you.
Are you sure?
Oh, I haven't said it yet. Now it's
Oh, okay.
coming.
Your parents were big Van Halen fans.
I don't think they were in that era as much as they were before that, but I kind of grew myself up on rock. So Van Halen's one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't.
Panama.
Here's the thing. Don't let people. And I think Sammy Hagar is very talented. Do not let people convince you, in any way, shape, or form, that the Sammy Hagar version of Van Halen was better than the David Lee Roth version, because those people are out of their minds. All right. Now let's move on to the TGL.
One more of you is gonna. I've already gotten 3 donations so far.
Let's move into the.
One more of you
That's
gets
how.
in.
That's how many people.
One more of you gets in. We end this.
Well, then I should
One
have donated.
more
I
of
shouldn't have
you
done
Oh,
this.
man.
Then.
Donates $20 right now.
I'm sitting back
Dude.
and enjoying this.
One more.
If
of
you haven't become a Tom Kim fan through this TGL,
whatever that is,
it's
whatever that is.
the two darlings of the TGL are in the championship. Jupiter Links. Did you get your Jupiter Links shirt yet?
Can you believe it or not? I haven't. I know you're gonna be surprised.
And the LA Golf Club, who last night, funny enough, sat out maybe their best player. Right? Didn't sit him out. He was hurt. Colin Morikawa. He did not play.
in the playoffs. What is this? The World Baseball Classic?
Well, he was hurt.
Are you
It's
sure?
a legit. It's not.
Are you sure?
It's not like he can't play. And then of course Tiger didn't play for Jupiter Links because Tiger is just
Well,
basically
I don't-
limping
yeah, he's
around.
Not really. But he's gonna play the Masters. I heard.
I don't think so.
No?
I still don't think so.
Hearing he's gonna play the Masters.
I don't think so. But anyway, so it'll be a nice fight. It'll be an interesting best of 3 next week. Jupiter Links versus LA.
One more of you. That's all that's going to take. One more of you to end this, because God knows what's next on his list. I don't know what it's going to be. It could be anything. One more of you donates, and we can stop this nonsense and talk about what happened last night.
And I think, in all fairness, I do think that they have, from what I'm gathering, I think they are whiffing on this Ted Lasso return.
Uh-oh. Why do you
Just from the little bits and pieces. I just think they missed. I think they missed the storyline at the end of the. I get it that at the end of the third season, they all didn't think they were ever gonna do this again. But they should. It was just like what happened with Hangover 2. They should have known that there was a chance they'd all be broke at some point and have to come back and do something again. And they should have planned it out better after the third season. When he went home back to Kansas City, he should have gone back to Kansas City to reclaim his wife. That was the.
How do we know that's not?
Because the third
So,
season.
when you say reclaim, what do you mean by reclaim?
Well, they had broken
Like,
up, remember?
I understand, but you're suggesting that he just goes home and says, "No, you are my property." Like,
Well, that's what Tom Hanks did in the plane crash movie.
fair. Well, it didn't work out. I don't know if you were.
I
wanna
do,
give away
but-
the ending. It didn't
but
work out.
Only because Tom Hanks gave her back.
He
Holly
gave her back.
Hunt was ready to come back.
I think it's Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt. She was done.
Yeah.
I mean, when they got in the car and it was raining,
I do. She was very.
she's like,
yeah,
I'll break up with my husband.
100%. That was the way that she felt.
And Tom Hanks said you can't.
Yeah, right. He's a good man.
You got to go home.
Good
Don't,
man, that
he goes,
guy.
you got to go home, don't you?
Brian,
Tell me you
Brian,
didn't cry.
Don't you dare root for this. Don't you dare root for people to not donate, you son of a bitch.
Tell me you didn't cry a little when Tom Hanks said to her, you got to go home, don't you? right?
I did. It
Yeah.
It did
Right.
something to me.
So,
I agree.
anyway, where were we?
Rob says he's in. Done.
Where's your money? You got to pay first.
Now listen to me. Listen to me.
Rob said enough's enough.
That's not.
All it took was bringing up Tom Hanks,
right.
right? The Epstein files.
Is that? Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure he's in the
whoa.
Epstein files.
Says who?
Oh God.
I'm pretty sure, isn't he?
I mean, to be fair, they all are.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Tom Hanks is in there somewhere.
I don't think so, though. I don't want to just say things.
Nah, I think if you look him up, he's
no,
in there.
The claims are false.
Yeah, the claims are false. Yeah.
That's what we're doing. I don't like that. So
Who
I'm gonna
knows?
create new facts.
Anyway, well, that was fun.
Kids, cover your ears.
Listen to me. That doesn't mean that the contest is.
Yeah, if you don't, we'll start the next hour the same way.
100%. I will go right. I will bring him back in tomorrow to do the same thing. If you guys don't fill this thing up.
What a prick Maxx Crosby turned out to be.
I have some of that. Do you want to do that now, or do you want?
Sure.
We're going to run out of time. Storm Davis is joining us in a couple of minutes.
What's he joining us for?
He's going into the Orioles Hall of Fame.
You don't want to talk to Storm Davis?
Storm Davis is a hero.
We better go back to Maxx Crosby.
Wait. What is your beef with Storm Davis?
I don't have a beef.
You got to
just
experience
said.
that. You got to live it. I was a month old. I don't even have it.
Live what?
The
Is one good year?
1983 World Series.
Is one good year?
It was a pretty good year.
I was there.
Yeah.
You guys weren't born yet.
I'm aware. So why are
Case
you
in
the
point.
one? We're excited about Storm Davis. You're over here going,
What's his real first name?
I don't know the answer to that question. Storm.
Charles.
Is it?
Mhm.
You know that?
Well, look it up.
You're just guessing.
Look it up.
I never know with you. Hang on a second. It's not Charles.
It's not?
It's definitely not.
Do you want me to
Don't
say
it?
no?
Don't say
What
it.
is
I'm
it?
going to give him 3 guesses.
3.
His real first name's not Charles?
Real first name is not Charles.
So you get 3 more.
You sure?
I'm 100% certain.
I don't know if that's true. I think
I understand this is we're doing the bit where we don't like the facts, so we just make it the facts.
Thank God he's not on call yet.
Who is this guy?
I thought we were cool, Drew.
Where'd you go to school?
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
You know.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you knew.
Tell me.
I went to Mount St. Joe.
Oh, that's okay. I like Mount St.
Are
Joe.
you sure? Okay.
No. I
good.
do like Mount St. Joe.
Good.
It's where all the Coward All kids go when they want to go down a notch or two and they don't want to arduous. No, I'm kidding. I like Mount St. Joe.
All
I really
appreciate
do.
that. Yeah.
I do. Coach Dooley was a good friend of mine, the golf coach who passed away a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. I did hear about that.
Good man, and I like Mount St. Joe. So,
All right.
we're good.
3 guesses.
Raymond.
Nope.
I could have sworn it was Charles. I think I'm right.
It's definitely not
No.
Charles.
Okay.
No.
I mean, I'm just going through. It's definitely not Davis. Okay.
Davis. To be fair, I think a lot of people believe that Cam Cameron's name was Cameron, but it turns out it was Malcolm.
Boy, I'm having a tough time with this one because I really thought his name was.
Right, I know you keep coming back.
Charles.
He's joining us.
It
literally
does sound like a
minute here.
baseball's name, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. Andrew?
George Earl Davis.
Where are you getting that from?
Davis. I've got it from multiple sources. But we can ask.
I think it was Charles.
We can ask if you want.
Because when I was with the Blast, Storm and Keith Van Aaron used to do a lot of stuff with FCA. And I just seem to remember his name being Charles.
Right. Well, we can ask. I'm okay with that. Get to the bottom of this.
It's all good.
Today's show brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel. The Mania gets underway tomorrow. The best place. If you're skipping out on work, if you're skipping out on your responsibilities, then the best place to be is Inside Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel, where they've got the 100-foot media wall. Well, they'll have amazing food and drink specials. And on top of all of that, they're going to be giving away prizes during every game. If you haven't reserved your table yet, make sure you do it today because the Mania starts tomorrow at Live Casino and Hotel. Very cool, as indeed our next guest is going to be inducted into the Baltimore Orioles Hall of Fame later on this summer. He's a 1983 World Series champion. He is Mr. Storm Davis, and he's back with us now here on GCR. Storm, it's Glenn and Drew. It's great to chat with you as always, man. Thank you for taking the time, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Glenn and Drew, it's great to be on the program. Just excited to talk about the Baltimore Orioles. I'm very honored and humbled, and got a fire truck going by, but just really thankful that be a part of the great men that have worn this uniform.
Storm, I know you guys were back together just a couple of years ago. Did you having that celebration and the anniversary of '83? Did you think at all about like this being a possibility? Or did you say, I don't know, I was only there for a few years? I mean, what was your reaction when you found out this was in play?
Quite frankly, I was just, I couldn't say anything. I remember just looking at my wife, and when I put the phone down, and after talking with Bill that we had been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I'm just speechless. You know, I have so much in my memory banks about all the things that men that I played with that poured into me, and just so grateful that I was on that path in my career at that particular time. All the great ones that poured into me, and I'm just, like I said, I'm really humbled and honored to be a part of it.
What did it mean to you to see that celebration that we're talking about, right? Like the way what that still means to Orioles fans, and to this city, what you guys did, and the massive role that obviously you played in it. What was it like being back for that, and knowing that sort of still lives eternally in this city?
Well, you know, because I got called up at such a young age, Baltimore is like a second hometown to my wife, Angie, and I. I mean, we grew up there. I was there from the age of 20 to 26, and came back for the opening year at Camden. I just resonate with the people of Baltimore in the state of Maryland. I don't know. I can't explain it other than the blue collar, the grit, the hard work, just the way we went about it on a daily basis. And I think the current team as well is going to get there eventually. They talked about the Oriole Way. The Oriole Way is much bigger than just a catchphrase. And that was lived in front of me for all those years by those men that we celebrated that 40th anniversary with. So, like I said, when they said that they invited me to the Hall of Fame, I truly was speechless. I had no idea that was coming. I was just honored to play with those guys every day. I mean that sincerely. To put that uniform on meant more to me than anybody could ever understand.
It's very cool. Storm Davis is with us here on Glenn Clark Radio. He's going to be going into the Orioles Hall of Fame later on this summer. Storm, it's interesting you bring up the comparison to these current Orioles, right? Because one of the things I think people think about with '83 is that while like Jim was on the team, he certainly wasn't like Jim Palmer at that point in his career. It wasn't a team that really had an ace. You had a bunch of guys that were quality major league pitchers, and you could count on night in and night out. And as we look at this sort of current Orioles rotation, there was a lot of disappointment this offseason. The Orioles didn't go get like a Ranger Suarez or a Framber Valdez, but they end up going into the year with 6 really legitimate major league starters, guys that have delivered at a fairly high level in their career when they've been healthy. Is it possible that this is proof you don't need to have that one like certain surefire ace, that it might be better having like quantity of quality starting pitching than the top end starting pitching?
I agree. Much like our '83 team, I felt like we were just a link in a chain. Now, when our day came around and it was our turn to pitch, we just, we wanted to go out there and give our team the best chance to win the game. Now, Jim was phasing himself out at that time, not playing, but the amount of, and I can sense it a little bit in some of the older guys they have now that are helping. I think that what gets lost sometimes is that we were our biggest fans of each other. And I think I can see that when I read articles about the current staff, how they share information, how they are truly, teammates. And we're here to bring a championship to the city of Baltimore. I just think that resonates with those of us that have been there and walked that path, and certainly for the fans of the city and of the Orioles, that hey, this is how we play the game. We might not be as flashy as other people, but this can win. And at the end of the day, we're trying to chase a ring and we're going to put a world championship up, and it can be done in multiple ways. I think you can just look at the Seattle Seahawks, how they did it in football last year. It doesn't have to be flashy. It's just got to be good. And if you're good every day, you have to be great. If you're good every day, you got a chance.
Well, Storm, you probably are shocked to hear you and I are the only two people on the call who ever saw a game at the stadium in Hickory. My mom grew up like a long home run. My mom grew up in Lenoir, North Carolina, which, as you know, is a long home run from Hickory. And I was looking at your bio. I know you did some coaching there. What happened with the coaching? Did you enjoy it, but it just kind of ran its course, or did you not get enough of it?
No, it's funny. I've been in high school coaching for 24 years, either as a head coach or an assistant coach. I'm currently helping out here at Trinity Christian Academy, not too far from the house, and we've got a wonderful team and great players. I went back into pro ball for 8 years, so I've been a coach a long time. My stepfather got sick, which led to him having some physical problems, and ended up passing away from cancer. So that's kind of how I had got out of pro coaching. It happened. I was with the Marlins at the time. I love coaching. I love teaching. I think that's a gift that God gave me. I mean, the talent to throw the ball and all that, that hard work had to go into that. But I love the teaching element of baseball and of life, and being passed down from generation to generation. And I know that, to stay relevant these days as a mid-60s-year-old coach, you've got to get in there and build relationships. And I love doing that. And I just love the game. I love passing what the game has been taught me and then pass it on to a new generation.
Storm Davis with us here on GCR. Storm, have you been able to watch anything this spring? Have you seen what the ABS system has looked like? Because every pitcher that I talk to seems to be opposed to the idea of robots calling balls and strikes, want the umpires to call the balls and strikes because they want to manipulate the umpire's strike zone. But I admittedly want all the calls to be right? And like the game the other night where the ball looked a little low to end the game in the World Baseball Classic, I would have liked for there to have been ABS. But where are you at with the idea of robot balls and strikes calls?
Yeah, I'm probably a little more of a traditionalist with that. I just like to keep it in the hands of the umpire. But I do understand, as a fan of the game, you want to listen. If there's a lot riding on one call, which sometimes there is, you want that to be the right call. So I'm not trying to play a politician here, but I would prefer that they keep it the same. But I can certainly understand the influence of technology and how it has influence in the game, and a pitch here and there can certainly turn a season back one way or the other.
There's no doubt that it can turn, and obviously this would kind of be the in between what they're doing, right? Where like it's there and you can challenge, and they're probably not going to challenge every pitch because you can only get 2 wrong during the course of the game, but that does give that in between that maybe to what you're talking about. You got a big one at the end of the game. You have the ability to make sure that it gets correct. I also I bring up the World Baseball Classic. I wonder, like someone who obviously played at the highest level, do you watch any of this and say, man, that would have been cool, right? And like I would have liked to have done that. You hear guys now kind of openly talking about wanting to pitch or play in the Olympics. Do you have any of those feelings of like, man, I wish that would have been an option, and hope that it becomes an option for these guys?
Absolutely. I mean, wholeheartedly, if they would have had to ask me one time and one time only, I would have jumped in with both feet. Anytime you have a chance to wear your country's colors and across your chest, I can't imagine the amount of pride, not just for the USA, but for all of the countries that were involved in the WBC. I don't think there'd be other than probably a World Series, that the element of just the electricity in the stadium, and every pitch matters. I mean, that's you don't get those opportunities very long to get in those kind of atmospheres where it's truly like every pitch matters. I mean, there's no margin for mistakes, and I think that's where whatever you have to give to the team can help them win. I mean, that's where, I would excite me to do it. I'm just thrilled that they're continuing on, and hopefully they can get the USA into the Olympics in baseball at some capacity.
I hope that ends up being the case, because I think it would be very exciting for every baseball fan. All right, Storm, I know you were only with him for a little bit in '82 and then when he came back, but do you have a favorite Earl story that you tell anybody whenever they bring his name up around you when you're at a party?
The clean version.
Right.
No, golly, my first appearance ever in the major leagues, I came in, the bases loaded, top of the ninth. I believe the score was tied. Yes, it was tied, 6-6. We're playing Oakland. So my debut, and we had to ride in this little cart in the Memorial. So
Yeah.
I'm riding in the cart, and the guys got their radio on, and anyway, I get to the mound, and it's like, Earl, he don't want to give me the baseball, and I'm like, he's eventually got to give it to me, right? I mean, I'm the guy he called in, and this is, quite frankly, this is 2 hours after he told me I was not going to pitch in the game because he wanted me to get my feet, grounded and kind of get used to the big league atmosphere. So, I'm out there. He doesn't want to give me the ball. Then he hands me the ball and he says, "Don't let him score. Bases loaded, nobody out." I'm like, whoa, yeah. So that's the cleanest version I can give you. I love playing for Earl. He didn't say a whole lot to me because I was 20 years old. I mean, I didn't. And then when he came back, but I was a little more accustomed to him. But I listened a lot to all the gentlemen that were around me. And Earl would every now and again give me a piece of advice. But I watched how he interacted with some of the veterans, and I was like, whoa, I have to be careful with how we go about this. So anyway, I love playing for Earl, and I got a lot out of playing for him.
Storm Davis, we can't wait to see you back here coming up this August and celebrating you and Chris in the Orioles Hall of Fame. Congratulations, man. Incredibly cool. Always appreciate taking the time for us. Thanks so much for hopping on this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for inviting me.
Storm Davis going in the Orioles Hall of Fame this summer.
Awesome stadium in Hickory.
I've never been to the stadium in Hickory.
It's awesome. It's Hickory is the size of Aberdeen.
Right.
Like, close your eyes and you go to this baseball game in Hickory. I'm not saying this because that's where my mom's from, and I have all these incredible memories. Western North Carolina is about one of the top 5 places you're ever going to go in your life.
You would always rave about Boone.
Boone.
Yeah. Or Appalachian State.
Well, you mean Wilcox State.
Right. Correct.
Western North Carolina, man, there is just something about it. Lenoir, Hickory. You could even go over to Asheville. As far that area of the country is just amazing. It's just amazing. The weather is spectacular. Anyway, so I probably saw 10 games in Hickory in my life. Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
Cool.
The UMBC Ryan Odom was coach at Lenoir Ryan for a while.
That's right. Correct. He's not at UMBC anymore.
No, I know that, but I mean, I know sports. Right?
What do you know about sports? 2 things.
I know last night was a joke.
All right, yeah. Well, which part? Which one from last night?
Making those 2 teams play last night was an outrage.
This is the thing. We don't agree on a lot. I agree on this.
You were agreeing a lot more as you're getting older and getting wiser.
Yeah.
And understanding we're trying to make things great again.
Is that what it is?
Well, it's all happened since you went over to that station.
Is that what
and
it
they
is?
simmered you down a
Is that
little.
what happened?
Right.
We do agree about this topic.
It's a joke.
It's not going to change. I mean, it's not. They're always going to prioritize TV ratings over fair. That's just the way it's going to go. It's never going to change, but you're not wrong. It shouldn't happen that way. And it was hard.
Make them the 16th seed.
Yeah.
And I would even acquiesce.
Make all the 11s go.
Correct.
Right.
And I would even acquiesce to say, you could even tell you could even say, and I don't know if you do this in advance or I don't know if it alternates, but you could even say, the team that wins the blank conference, you're going to be the 16th seed. We don't care if you go 32-0 in the America East. You're going to be the 16th seed. There you go. Go get them. But to not allow those guys to play someone on Thursday and Friday is an outrage.
I agree. I do.
It's
agree.
just terrible.
But it's never changing. They are going to continue to prioritize.
And then to make them, and I get it, there's no other, some of this probably, and again, you could do this, and this is an example of what should have happened. UMBC finds out Sunday night at 6:30 they're going to Buffalo. They're going to Dayton. Now they're scrambling around. They're waiting to get their flight arrangements from the NCAA, and they fly in there on Monday. And I'm not talking about the delays and all that other stuff. That is what it is. But all you're really doing is everything gets rushed. No one gets the opportunity to go celebrate this thing. No one gets to go to Buffalo. No one gets to go to, Greensboro, take 2 days to get there, celebrate. It's all just done rush.
Agreed.
It's terrible.
We didn't get to have Jim Ferry on the show on Monday in order to celebrate and all of that.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
just terrible.
It sucks. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
It sucks.
But that's why if you knew going in,
Yes.
America East winner,
Yep.
16 seed.
Yep. That's the way
Okay,
it's gonna go.
we're ready to go.
Drew, I agree. Wholeheartedly agree. It's not going to. And
Well,
by the way,
we know sports.
they're going to go to 76 teams at some point in the next couple of years, and it's going to be a complete cluster F. And it's
Yeah.
going to screw up everybody wanting to fill out brackets, and it's insane.
Right.
Why
Why not just do 100?
They have this thing that works. That we all, it'd be like the NFL saying, "You guys really enjoy playing fantasy football. We're going to make it impossible."
Right.
That's what made people fall in love. I get it. We all say it's betting, but it was really that fantasy football became a version of betting that everyone could do. You didn't.
Well,
have
fantasy
to-
football also did what fantasy football did was exactly what the football culture, particularly not so much your age, but more so his age. Fantasy football, what it did is it said, I know you think you know more than the actual people who know football, so we're going to give you an outlet to prove that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that
But
became.
it also became palatable for people that weren't sycophants about football. Betting before it became legalized, you had to really be in on football in order to be interested in betting because it was very difficult to do.
It was, right.
Right? Like you had to go so far out of your way that you
Right.
had to know what you're doing.
Right.
This made it palatable. You didn't really have to know
Yeah,
football in order to play fantasy
I would
football.
play fantasy football. Wouldn't even change my team.
Correct.
I'd be in the press box, and you'd go,
Yeah,
"Hey, who you
yeah,
starting the quarterback
yeah,
today?" And I'd be
exactly
like, "Oh hell!"
Right. Correct.
And then that's when I
exactly what
quit,
it
because-
it became palatable.
Right.
Fantasy football made the NFL. I get it. We all say it's betting, but it's really fantasy football. Made the NFL king of
I would agree with that.
of,
It was
of everything.
It was fantasy football first.
That's the NCAA tournament exists because someone like Grant, who could not name, asked me literally this week where Maryland was seated in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
But he can
10th,
still
right?
fill out a bracket with his
10?
Yes, correct.
10th.
Exactly right. You nailed it. This is sports.
Should have been 8.
That's a great point. They won that game that one time. They did win that
They
one.
beat Iowa.
That's facts. They did. They beat Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
But Grant today can go fill out a bracket and can have some amount of – and that's why the NCAA
My wife had
tournament
George
works.
Mason the year that they went to the Final Four because she saw Matchbox 20.
There you go. And she said
That's
that
the truth.
That's
I said, "How?" I looked at her bracket and said, "How on the earth
right.
did you have George Mason going to the Final Four?"
But that's the point. The
Right.
point is she can do it. This thing works because of the bracket. Not because college
Right, now they're
basketball
gonna
is so
change it.
big.
Right.
Not because everybody's in that. It works because of the bracket.
Right.
Period. Because people that don't give a rat's ass about college basketball can participate in this event. And you're going to F it up because you believe.
I'm not this
that-
year. I think I got it this year.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying they are going to F
Oh,
it up.
oh, oh.
They're gonna make it 76 teams.
All right.
And we're not going to know when the games are being played.
Right.
We're not going to know who's in the games.
game will be Tuesday
We're not-
afternoon.
Correct. We're going to have no clue. We have no time to fill out a bracket. We don't know, and they're going to ruin it.
Right. Who do
That's
you have
what
winning?
they do. Arizona.
You do?
Yeah.
Arizona?
Yeah. Big 12 was unlike everybody else in college basketball this year, which, of course, obviously means that stupid Duke's going to win. I mean, like, clearly that's the case.
Right.
But I think it's going to be one of the Big 12 teams.
Okay. So who are their good
It's
ones?
not going to be Texas Tech.
Iowa
because
State's
Toppin's
good,
in it.
right?
Iowa State, Houston,
Oh,
Arizona.
Houston, right? Houston's good. Arizona.
And look, if Darren Peterson chooses to play, Kansas is absolutely a threat. Like 100%. If Darren Peterson is on the floor and trying, then Kansas is a threat. It's really weird.
How about the guy from Alabama? How's he doing?
We're going to make any jokes about that.
We're not.
I think we're going to pass on making
Really?
any
We
jokes
can't make a joke about that guy? If you can't pick on him, who can you pick on?
Don't think. Or think
I mean,
about
really?
Let's really think about the jokes
Well,
that you're
wait,
choosing to make.
But
Because I know you.
The weekend before the tournament,
I'm aware.
the coach had a meeting on Friday, and he said, "Hey, guys,
Whatever you do.
listen to me real quick, guys. You know I love you, right? Now, we're going to be in the tournament. Here's the 5 things I don't need you to do over the weekend. Guys, listen up. You ready? I really need you to avoid drinking and driving.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we have someone set up at school.
Yes.
Text this number, and we'll come and pick you up.
Yep.
Got it, Coach. All right, next thing. Guys, all you guys are getting paid now. There's no reason for you to rob a bank. Do me a favor. Do not, this weekend, don't even think about going into like a convenience store or a bank and robbing the bank. Got that, guys? Yeah. Got it, Coach. In fact, you know what we're going to do, guys? You know what we're going to do?
Yeah.
Here's $500 for all of you. Now you don't need any money. Now you just can't leave. Now, here's money for you to. You don't have to rob a bank.
I don't think they did it that way.
Okay, here we go. Now, here's the third thing, guys. I know some of you like to hightailing around town in these souped-up cars that we give you. Don't drive around town at a high rate of speed and cause some sort of accident this weekend.
Right.
In fact, here's what we're going to do.
It should be tough for the Georgia football team.
Correct. If you want to ride around town somewhere this weekend, we'll come and pick you up and drive you around. So those are the 3 things. Here's the 4th thing. I know some of you have girlfriends.
Yep.
I know we talk about this all the time. Let's be very careful about our conduct with our significant others in terms of any kind of physical, just be careful with anything this weekend that could be considered to be, inappropriate. Got it, Coach. And here's the last thing, guys. Whatever you do, don't have somebody bring you a pound of weed.
A pound.
And walk.
A pound.
And walk into your dorm room with it. Whatever you do.
I am torn on this. I'm torn because I don't care that the guy had weed. What they're saying is that if you have a pound, it's because you're selling it, right? But we also that's okay now. I am very torn on this because it's just dumb. It's dumb. But there's also the part of me that says, this is you're not going to let the kid play because of weed? Because of some weed, you're not going to let the kid play? It's very difficult.
I'm kind of going to go the other way on you on this one, and not because it's weed. I think if you're bringing in a pound of eggs, you ought to be off the team.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
It's a pound.
I understand.
Leave it in your trunk.
Right, but I think at this point, if you're allowed to do it, how many beers are you getting in trouble for?
I guess.
Do you get in trouble for having 100 beers? Because I got to tell you, there were lots of times when I was in college that we had 100 beers in the room. That's going to be the case. So
now there is also a state, and I don't know the rules.
Yes,
there is a state by state.
I know.
If in Texas you walk in there with a pound, you're going to jail for 100 years.
Right. I know. That's the issue. That's the issue. But I can't get worked up about it. I think it's stupid. I can't. I'm not going to shake from that. If we're good with it, we're good with it. And
I don't disagree.
I don't care if
I do think lugging a pound of weed into your room, it is something's got to be done. That's all I'm saying. I don't think you could just go marching around and, hey, all right, who needs it? Here we go. It's $40. Who needs some? I don't know. I got you. I think something's got to be done.
Well, there's only one man that we turn to for our NCAA tournament analysis.
Nice. We bring it on.
Of course, you know who our expert is whenever we're talking. No, this is the audio clip.
Oh.
You know.
I can't believe this. What a treat.
We're not going to. There's a new one today.
No.
We'll get to it.
Oh, no.
We'll get to it.
Oh, I can't wait for this. This brightens my day.
Today's
so much.
show
What a bad guy I am.
Today's show, 100%.
This brightens my day.
You forgot this is what was happening today. We've done this every year. Every year on the day before the NCAA tournament.
This brightens my day so much.
We have shared this clip, and you forgot all about it.
Oh, my gosh.
You are so welcome, Drew.
Today's show brought to you by CountySports.Zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Still one more night of basketball championships night at UMBC. Find out about all the results so far and what's still to come by going to CountySports.Zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. All right, here we go. You may remember this is the greatest clip in the history of sports radio.
Maryland and Florida State, which you've already had this year.
Right.
You have, let's see what happened. What happened in those Maryland-Florida State games this year?
What did happen, Mike?
I don't think it was a vintage Maryland year by any stretch, but I could see them.
2017. He's right.
Did they play once this year?
Huh?
What?
Oh, Maryland. I'm thinking. Jeez, I'm forgetting Maryland's. You know what? I'm forgetting now.
What are
I'm
you forgetting, Mike?
Okay. You know what? I'm forgetting. You're right. They wouldn't play.
Pause.
So,
Pause. In that moment, he still didn't know.
Right. He
knew-
knew they didn't play,
Right.
but he
knew
didn't
that,
know why.
But he had not yet figured out why
right.
they hadn't
He
played,
looked at the
right?
sheet,
He
or someone in his ear said, "Hey,
They're not
dumbass."
in the same conference anymore, right? Like,
Right.
that's definitely what happened. And he was like, oh, right. Man. But he still didn't know which conference.
Right.
Like, did Florida State leave the
Right.
conference?
Correct.
He had that moment.
Well, in fairness, he only makes $1.75 million
That's
a year.
fact, right? Like, that's not
I mean,
enough.
what do you want from the guy?
It's not enough. Back to the clip.
So the bottom line is,
Yep.
What is the bottom line?
um,
I'm sure he'll get to this perfunctly.
Maryland should have been better.
Right.
They had some injuries.
He's right.
I don't know if they
They're
should have
hot
been
and
better.
cold.
All right, what? Hot and cold.
You know, their best players, hot and cold.
What?
And that
So,
is
from that standpoint, you know, I could see them. I could see them winning this game. I could see them losing this game.
those are the
one way or
options.
the other. I don't think
Stop.
it's, you know.
Stop.
I mean,
Those are the choices.
but all right.
But
So let me ask you this.
He doesn't think it's going to
But-
finish in a tie.
But let me ask you
He's
this:
got
was
that.
he wrong?
You know what?
No.
They did. Well, technically, he was. We'll get back to that. Technically, he was wrong in his analysis.
Why?
We'll return to that.
Okay.
Give us a minute.
Good.
Back to the clip.
I don't think it's that big a deal one way. I don't think it's a shocking game one way or the other. I think pretty big things were expected from Maryland this year.
Don't know
They
about
really
that.
Kinda disappointed.
Right.
Had a kind of a hot and cold season. Good coach, well coached team.
Yeah. Good coach.
Name
You know,
the hit
obviously
stop.
always a lot
Hit
of
stop.
that
Hit stop.
Who
Name
is
the
it?
coach.
Yeah. Who is it?
Name the coach.
Right. And it ain't
With your life on the
And by the
line.
way, it ain't Gary.
Right. With his
I'll give you a
life-
hint.
In that moment, with his life on the line,
Right.
could he have named the coach of the University of Maryland in 2017?
Odds-
Is there any chance at all?
Minus 285
Mike-
says no.
100%. There is no chance that Mike Francesa, and if you had said to him, the name of the coach is Mark Turgeon, name anything else about him. Name where he came from. Name any other place he had coached. Nothing. No chance. Remember, he referenced Maryland's best player. No chance that he could name who Maryland's best player was. Back to the clip.
Expectations there. You know, they expect.
Who was it that year? Cowan?
Things there all the time. They have
That
very
must
high
have been Trimble.
expectations for that program.
still
which,
Trimble?
You know, you would expect. I mean, I think that's
go.
that's reasonable from a standpoint of.
Okay, now
you
he's
know,
getting into some analysis.
Week in, week out, what you would expect from that.
He
from
said
that
expect
group.
5 times.
But I don't think they had a great year for them.
Well, they didn't.
I guess. but for
You know,
them, it's
what
quite
I
a
was thinking
qualifier.
was old time as the ACC. I'm forgetting Maryland's in the Big Ten now, so you know they moved. So that's why I'm.
It
thinking
took his
the plays
producer
over there. They don't even say
3
Lincoln
minutes
anymore. You forget the
to inform him
moved.
of that.
No,
So,
he goes, you forget.
right.
No. We don't forget.
Bottom line is
You forgot. Bottom line.
I could see that game going one way or the other. I'm not a big Florida State fan. They had a good year. I
Name
just don't
something
love
about
I never
them.
have.
Charlie Ward.
So I go either way with that.
Go
game.
either way. 2.5 minutes.
this is where
to say
but-
go either way. But let me tell you why you're wrong. He was wrong that they could either win or lose that
they
game.
go to overtime.
No, you know why? Because that game never happened. He gave 2.5 minutes on the biggest radio station in the country breaking down a basketball game that never occurred.
Why?
Maryland lost to Xavier in the first round.
Gotcha.
They never played Florida State.
Gotcha. I love it.
He broke down.
I didn't even.
for
I didn't even
2.5
I didn't even know
minutes
that.
on the biggest flamethrower radio station that exists, where he was making $1.7 million. He gave 2.5 minutes
Only.
of analysis.
Only making.
Yes. 2.5 minutes of analysis of a basketball game that never happened.
Be like us breaking down UConn and Virginia in the final.
Right?
I don't even know if they can play each other, but
I mean, every time we listen to this clip,
it's-
there's just
it's
more.
the Hall of Fame.
It's the best clip that ever
It's
existed in the
because
history.
there's 81 things you could break down
Oh my God!
in 3 minutes.
He's like, in Florida State, with
Hot and cold.
he said expect 5 times. By the way, it's like listening to our president talk. He said.
I think you might be offending the president.
That might be. You might be right.
I mean,
you might be right. He said, you can expect based on expectations, so it's what you expect. Like, he has nothing to say.
I know we're winning over there.
Nothing. It's like me talking about the Pell Grants on WBAL.
That's true.
I
I've heard
go
you.
in, and they're going to say, you got to talk about Pell Grants today.
And you know what you should say? I'll tell you what. They got some good points about them and some bad points.
They go hot and cold when you think about it.
You think about these Pell Grants.
You can really go either way with the Pell Grants.
No doubt.
I swear to God.
Who do you like for the governor's race? Well, I'll tell you what. Ed Hale, there's some good things about him. He's kind of, you never know.
I would tell you, I think you can pick whoever you like.
Yeah, right.
You pick
It doesn't matter because Westmore's winning anyway.
That's true.
So, yeah, it's all done already. This is the Hall of Fame clip of all Hall of Fame clips.
Oh my God! I pee myself.
Yeah, it's the Hall of Fame.
And the subtext to it, again, as Drew points out, Mike Francesa was making high seven figures.
Well, he was the highest paid. He was the highest paid radio sports talk show host in the country
ever. He was the highest.
People
paid.
and for all of the rhetoric around town and all of a lot of it. Well, I don't even want to give into my opinion. For all of the hot air about the guy that used to be on in the afternoons at 105.7, his situation at that station isn't totally dissimilar to this. They employed him but employed him in this arena back then for the specific reason that 50% of the people thought he knew what he was talking about, and the other 50% knew he knew nothing, but they all had one thing in common. Then at 2 o'clock every day,
they were right.
They turned it on.
Yeah, that's true.
And at 3:08, when that ad ran for Bill's Tire and Auto, Bill's Tire and Auto's phone lines lit up.
Yep, that's a fact.
Because people were listening to this.
That's a fact. They syndicated his show on national television, a New York radio show. They syndicated on Fox Sports 1. Everybody in the country could watch it.
And he fell asleep.
And he did 2.5 minutes on a basketball game that never happened, that he knew nothing about. Nothing. He didn't know a single, in 2.5 minutes, he didn't tell you anything that was factual. He didn't say Maryland.
Now, in some weird ways, this is also partly on them.
100%.
Because it would be, I'm not picking on you when I say this, it would be like me saying to you, and this is kind of unfair, because you do know more than you let on about golf, but it would be like me saying to you, hey, dog, I can't be in there on Sunday to do the Saturday to do the PGA Championship show, and this is Friday at noon. I'm not giving you a week. Hey, tomorrow you need to do 3 hours on the PGA Championship. Like someone would call in and go, "Hey, what do you think about Tommy Two Gloves Gainey?" And you would go, "I'll tell you what,
it might be his year." Drew, it really is. This is a straight shoot. I think I've told you the story before. One night when I was working in Phoenix, Sam Rosen's son.
This never fails to be great.
It's the greatest. Sam Rosen's son Matt was the Coyotes pre and post game show host. Great guy. Love Matt Rosen. Great guy. Matt was not going to be in that night, and they found out very late.
Well, said
I'm doing the afternoon show, and they said, "Hey, you need to stick around. You're doing." I wasn't going to do pregame. I was going to do postgame. They said you need to do Coyotes postgame tonight. I said,
"Sober?"
Yeah. I've never watched.
It's a Friday night.
I've never watched the team.
Right.
I don't.
Don't worry about it.
I don't follow hockey.
Here's a press release.
Right. They said, "Don't worry about it. You're going to go on. You're going to say, Coyotes lost tonight." You're going to go over the stats. You're going to go over the highlights. Then you're going to take some phone calls, and you're just going to let them talk. And then you're going
Hey, Glenn, what do you think about Gretzky tonight?
Right.
Didn't look good, did he?
Yeah, and you're going to say, thanks for the call, Jim. And you're just going to – it's the same 6 people. They call every night.
Right.
That's the way it's going to go. And so that's exactly what I did. I had one piece of analysis to offer. I said, didn't get enough pucks on the net.
Yep,
That's the only thing I said during the entire – I
all
probably
night.
said it 7 times during the course of that hour.
That offense is struggling.
I said, you got to get more. It just comes down to this. You got to get more pucks on the net. They might have had 45 shots that. I don't know. But they lost 3-1 or whatever. I can't remember who the game was.
What a treasure this is.
And that was doing that show. Imagine it now with the biggest audience you could ever possibly imagine. And that's what you got. But it gets better, Drew. It gets better. I didn't think that we were going to be able. This is the problem when you're always playing the greatest hits. You never know. It's like you brought up the Wallflowers earlier. Imagine the Wallflowers churning out a hit in 2026. Imagine you tuning in today to some radio station, and they're like, and now a banger moving up the charts. I don't even think they have charts anymore. The Wallflowers. Would you believe that we have a new hit from Mike Francesa?
Okay, so this is going to be good.
He's still doing it. He's doing a podcast,
Okay.
and he's still doing his big NCAA tournament breakdown. And he's going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind about St. John's.
Okay.
This is from yesterday.
They score on the break, they score off the turnover, and they score off the offensive rebound. And then Zuby sometimes will get a little thing going. You know, Zuby can look really bad offensively, and he can look really sweet offensively. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially against Kansas. Because remember, he left Kansas, but that's a long time ago. And he left Kansas because of Embiid. And Embiid's a different player than Zuby. I mean, Embiid, when he's healthy, is a guy who can score 50 points in the NBA.
That's a great point.
He's a big-time talent. That's no big deal that that Embiid was over him. I mean, that happens. And he came and he found
Embiid.
Hang on a second.
and had one of the great careers in the history of St. John's.
You're not
which
my friend.
is
Let him speak.
about him and about Patino developing him. He did a great job that way.
It's a great point. Thank you, Mike. As you know, Zuby Ejiofor, of course, began his career at Kansas in 2022 and 2023, and he obviously left Kansas because he was behind Joel Embiid. And there just wasn't going to be a path for him to
Joel Embiid's been in the league for like 12 years.
What's that now?
Hasn't Joel Embiid been in the league for like 12 years in the NBA?
Hang on a second. My sources are now telling me that Joel Embiid hasn't been at Kansas since 2014.
I mean, I'm a dummy.
Since you don't know anything. You don't know anything. You somehow know less than Mike Francesa about basketball.
And I knew he wasn't there. Joel Embiid's been in the league for a decade.
Since 2014.
When he said that, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Maybe it's me. Maybe I do need to start brushing up a little bit. But hasn't Embiid, he's had more surgeries. He's had a surgery every year for a decade.
As many have pointed out.
Oh, my Lord.
Zuby Ejiofor was 9 years old when Joel Embiid left Kansas. He was not.
Oh, my Lord.
What a time to be alive!
Unbelievable.
You don't turn to us for your NCAA tournament breakdown. You turn to that man. That great American. He's going to let you know what's happening in the NCAA tournament. Oh, God bless you. Thank you for your service, Mike. What you've done for us will never fully be able
unreal.
to repay you.
I mean, it's unreal.
Will never fully.
It's unbelievable.
Apparently, Aaron lets us know. Aaron's a good man. He got in the.
And by the way, everyone, and you know this, and when you've got this in front of you, you are always susceptible to making a mistake.
Yes.
I put the wrong score in the day of the Howard UMBC game. I just did. I thought the final score was 83-81. I remember watching it. I thought that was the final score. It wasn't the final score. Like, sometimes you do that, but I watched the whole game. But when you have a mic in front of you,
some mistakes are not.
No.
As others.
But when you have a mic in front of you, you'll say something, and then you'll go, and then 3 minutes later you'll go, wait a minute, did I say that the Jets beat the Dolphins? I know that didn't happen. Why would I have said that? This is stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like this is insane that he makes these sort of mistakes.
Okay, there's a difference. This you can say is a mistake. The first thing is not the first thing is he didn't prepare for doing a 4-hour radio show that day. He walked in and said, "I'll just go over the brackets." That's what he did. He did no prep for the job he was getting paid, again, nearly $2 million a year to do. He didn't bother to do the job. He just walked in and said, "Well, I'll just read the brackets," and he didn't know anything about them. For whatever it's worth, I might not know about the topics I'm going to be discussing from 7 to 11 tonight on WBAL, but I'm going to spend this afternoon studying the hell out of them, studying them like crazy, because I'm going to have to talk about them because they're paying me. That's part of the exchange. You pay me, I do some amount of work for it. That's what happened in the 2017 clip. He just didn't do his job that day. He just said, "I'll go in." Now, to be fair, we all did it, We all said when we were in radio at the time, you know what we'll do on Wednesday is we'll knock out the 7 a.m. hour just going over the bracket. That's what we'll do. We didn't have quite the same audience or get quite the same compensation level, and so it wasn't quite as big of a deal that Drew and I had no idea who played for Florida State at the time. Not quite as problematic. That said,
This is a Hall of Fame
Aaron
clip.
tells me that apparently he later tweeted out that he meant to say Hunter Dickinson.
Mm-hmm.
And, like,
Well, they do look the same.
very similar. Great point.
They're tall.
Yeah, they're both tall. You are right about that, and they both play basketball.
Right.
And like, maybe, but then remember he doubled down by saying Embiid can score 50 points a game in the NBA. Hunter Dickinson definitely cannot do that. So he
didn't mean to say Hunter Dickinson.
Correct.
It would be like me saying Dustin Hoffman was great in Titanic.
It's a great point. I thought he was tremendous.
He looked great, flat, bare chest.
Right.
Got along great with what's her name.
Yeah, what's her name? 100%.
And I thought the two of them were going to survive.
Yeah.
But they didn't, and it's a shame the way that he died of food poisoning there at the end. But Hoffman's a hell of an actor.
And she obviously died too. That was
Well, Hoffman's a great actor.
Yep.
And then later going, I meant DiCaprio.
Obviously. Everybody can make
But
that
this guy's a complete buffoon.
Anybody can make that mistake.
And by the way, now getting $2 million.
Well, I don't think so.
He's not.
I think that
they cut him back.
I think that's run dry. I don't think his podcast is quite as lucrative as his deal was with CBS. All right, two things that I wanted to deal with with you.
All right, let's
one,
go.
Because
we beat this guy up enough now.
Well, we can't play that clip enough. We could just make the whole show.
Because you know what we should do one day?
What?
I think we did this once before. We should do it and list every single moment where something's wrong, and how many moments in the 3 minutes is something.
I think we attempted.
I think we did too.
We did.
I think we got to like 34.
Yeah, right. I think we did.
Anyway,
all right.
go ahead.
We've talked to Storm Davis. I want to hear your thoughts on Chris Davis going into the Orioles Hall of Fame.
Are you okay? Are you saying that there should be a consideration on it?
I want your entire thoughts on it, because I don't think it's cut and dry. I think that the people that are trying to only portray one side of the story are missing something. I think if anybody who's saying you can be mad as you want about the contract, but that man was a major part. Like both sides of the Chris Davis story are noteworthy.
Well, here's what I would say. I would say this, that in general, to me personally, in general, and you can pull up the names if you want, and I'll go through them, and I'm not, and I'll give you a serious answer. In general, I think that the Orioles Hall of Fame has become watered down.
I understand why you feel that way.
In general, I think too many Hall of good to very good players got in or are getting in, and I think they're running into the same thing that the Ravens run into. Who are we going to put in this year in order to appease a sponsor who has given us $250,000 for the weekend, and we got to sell tickets for the 3 games against the Rockies or whoever it is? So I think in general it's been watered down, and I think he's included in that. I think he had several great years, and I think he had several awful years. And I think that those, and I'm not even talking about the juice and the suspension and all of that. I think he is exactly what has become. He's exactly what the Orioles Hall of Fame has become. And in fairness, so is Storm Davis. That it's become the Hall of Very Good. And it hasn't become a hall of the absolute very best players in the history of the franchise. Not who had 3 or 4 good years. But that's what it's become. Has a guy had a 3 or 4 year run where he was one of our best players, yes, then he should be in the Hall of Fame. And I don't agree with that. But I do see that based on who they've let in, he probably makes sense. And I'm not even, again, I'm not brushing up against the steroid or the Adderall, the steroid, or whatever you want to call that. I'm not brushing up against that at all. If you want to have some other discussion about that, okay. Is Rafael Palmeiro in the Hall of Fame? In the Oriole Hall of Fame?
I believe he is, actually.
No, I'm very sure he isn't. So, But again, that could be my Francesco moment. Maybe he is. Maybe he got put in 2012.
I know Alomar got in. Palmeiro is not.
Yeah. So that, we all know, that is because of steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Period. But I think that Davis very, very perfectly fits exactly what's been going on with the Orioles. And that is they've had a long, I mean, we already know some of the other guys that are going to get in along the way. Mm-hmm. But this fits very well with what they've been doing, which is letting guys in who had several good years, basically turning a blind eye towards their bad years and only considering their good years. And that's why he's in. Do I agree with it? If you made me go one way or the other, I would say no.
Okay.
I don't agree with it. But I understand it. It's what they've become.
I have less concern because the Orioles Hall of Fame really is just kind of like a weekend gathering and a plaque by a bathroom, right? Like it's not even prominently displaying the name in the stadium the way the Ravens do at the Ring of Honor, right? Like it's so small that I really don't have an issue with the fact that they've kind of lowered the standards for the Orioles Hall of Fame. I think it's fine to me. But I get it. I do. I understand. And look, the Chris Davis story is complicated. It's an incredibly complicated story, and I think anybody trying to minimize it's a complicated story. I have no issue with them doing it, and I think that there's lots of people that remember wonderful Chris Davis moments that we'll be happy to celebrate with Chris Davis this summer. But I get the thought. I completely understand it. And I gotta have you run in a minute because we gotta let a friend of ours stop by. But I know you wrote about the Maxx Crosby stuff. I don't have time to play all the clips right now, but your reaction to what Maxx Crosby said.
I think the whole thing is a total cluster F on all of their parts. I thought yesterday was really kind of shameful of him. And I get it. It's on his brand. And I didn't really write much about that today. I tried really today not to make it personal. And I just wrote about what I've learned, which is not much because no one over there is saying anything. Mm-hmm. The only thing I did learn is he specifically said to them, I'm not flying Southwest. I'm not sitting in the middle seat. I'm flying first class. I don't care. Fly me first class. And they did. They flew him to D.C., right? It's 40 minutes away. It's not a big deal. It's like flying into Orange County instead of flying into LAX. Who cares? I thought what he did yesterday was pretty bush league on his part. But I do get that it's his brand. That he's a bit of a prick, and I get it.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're saying. I would also say, he has no obligation to say nice things.
No, not at all. He doesn't. But I think he went out of his way yesterday to try to really paint the Ravens as discombobulated and disheveled and clumsy, and that's okay. But I think some of it was maybe even borderline intentionally wrong to paint that picture. But it's all been clumsy. There's no question. And the Ravens participated in that with the awkward manner in which they brought him into town, looked at the x-rays, left him sitting around by the vending machines for a couple of hours. Mm-hmm. That all does not look good for them. I 100% agree with that. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go back to what I said from the very, very beginning. All of this was initiated by them leaking the information of the deal had been done. The Ravens were not prepared to have that leaked. They were not in any way, shape, or form ready to tell people that they had made this trade. And they did. And that started it. Now, did the Ravens contribute to it? Did they, along the way, go, well, we're not even sure we want to do this, but we know we want Trey Hendrickson too? I don't know how any of that played into it. But it looks very, very clumsy on all of them. And anyone that's trying to give Crosby a pass or the Raiders a pass is nuts. And I'm not saying that with home bias at all.
Yeah.
I do think the Ravens bear a responsibility in this.
I think
I do.
I think they bear a specific type of responsibility. I still think there's the truth is somewhere in between all of these things, and I keep coming back to that. I think you don't go as far as the Ravens did if you're not intending to make the trade. Like
100% agree.
So once that's the point, like the idea of the Ravens didn't want it out there, this is the way it works now. Like you can't pretend like there's a world where it's not going to get out there. You know what you're doing.
But I think this is I agree, but I think this is different in that if they make a trade for Jalen Waddle and he's healthy, that trade and the process of that trade happens much differently than this trade. This deal was all predicated, predicated on this guy's health.
I understand that.
Health above everything else.
But this is the business. I get it. They pulled off a miracle with Hollywood Brown and everybody keeping their mouths shut when that happened. But that's the one time that's happened in football. In the idea that like you have this hubris that we can get everybody.
But they weren't asking for 5 weeks. They were asking for 2 days.
It's just not the way it works anymore.
Okay.
It just doesn't work that way in football.
And that's okay. But then some of that then has to go and be born on the Raiders and Crosby.
That's fine. Like it's fine. I have no problem with that. But I'm saying like you can't think that's part of the equation. Like you have to know that it's going to become public and you're going to have to deal with it.
Gotcha.
And again, whatever happened from there happened. I don't believe the dead body story. I think that's him just trying to get attention.
Right. That's the part of the thing that kind of irritates me.
Yeah,
like
it's just him.
We drove from D.C. to Baltimore. No, you didn't drive at all.
Yeah, you did.
You got picked up by a
nice,
SUV limousine. And you sat in the back with your feet up.
Yeah, a lot of us have to do that drive.
But again, he tried to make it sound like they got in a rental car from Enterprise and drove to.
And they went out of their way to make it more difficult.
It's not what happened.
100%.
All right. God bless you. I think UConn's winning it.
Okay. I need you to fill it in.
Oh God, you're getting on my nerves.
$20.
I don't have $20.
Well, you're gonna have to find it. I know
you guys haven't paid me in like 12 years.
I got bad news about that.
Okay.
Make it 13.
All right. How's Florida State, by the way? Are they?
They're a little hot and cold.
I might take them.
Kind of a disappointing year for them.
I tell you who I do like in this tournament a lot, and I think they have I just don't remember how they did in the regular season, but I think Northwestern's got a nice team.
There you go. That's going to be your pick. There you go.
See you later.
DrewsMorningDish.com. That's where you find him. Get in the contest. Got it? We're helping charities around here.
We'll help a charity when I get paid.
That's my guy. That's my guy. Stay in the Fan shows are always brought to you by the Costas Inn with 2 great locations, the original in Dundalk, the new one in Timonium. We got a friend of ours that's going to be stopping by the studio here coming up next. It is a Wednesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
This is Stan the Fan. You know we talk all the time about our O's stepping up in the big moments, delivering when it matters most. If you've been injured in a car accident anywhere around Baltimore, that's your big moment, and you need someone who delivers. That's why I'm here to tell you about Warnken Injury Lawyers. They fight for Baltimore families every single day. Insurance companies play games. Warnken plays to win. So call 443-RESULTS. That's 443-RESULTS, or go to warnkenlaw.com. When you need results, it's right there in the number, 443-RESULTS.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack, Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Pressbox is available now. On the cover, Dave Ginsburg chats with Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr. about his life now at the age of 65, his role with the Orioles ownership group, and much more. Also inside, Bill Ordine helps us learn more about new Ravens head coach Jesse Minter. Luke Jackson finds out about new Orioles slugger Pete Alonso from those who have played with him, and we meet college lacrosse players from programs all across the area. Pressbox is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
March Mania is on at Live Casino. And you can get a front row seat for all the action at Sports and Social. Raise your game with massive wall-to-wall TVs. And raise a cheer with your favorite beers, cocktails, and an all-star menu. Best of all, you could win huge prizes every game. Don't get benched. Book your table at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
Back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Wednesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. Very happy that our friend Cindy Berman, who is the Director of Cruise Marketing and Business Services for Cruise Maryland, has stopped back by the studio. You have seen her face on this show plenty over the years, telling you about why it's so pleasant to cruise out of Baltimore, and it is good to see you again. Cindy, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us.
Glenn, it's always my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
As you know, I have cruised out of Baltimore before, and so I'm going to do half of your job for you. Right?
Thank you. I love that.
I'm going to go ahead and because I was going to ask you why cruise out of Baltimore, but I know the answer.
You know the answer?
Part of the answer.
You know the answer?
I know one of the answers for me.
Okay, let's hear it.
And I compare it to the happiest flight that you'll ever be on is the flight when everyone is flying to Disney World, right? Like it's the happy. Everybody's happy. And then the comparison is that flight back, right? When the trip is over, and everybody's very disappointed. So I have cruised out of Baltimore and I have cruised out of Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Those are the two ports that I've cruised out of.
Okay.
The thing about getting off the cruise in Fort Lauderdale is now you're just stressed,
right?
The stress that you dealt with getting there, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can deal with it because you're getting a reward out of it, right? Like the reward is I'm going to be on a cruise and be sipping a Mai Tai here in a couple minutes, right?
Yes.
When you're getting off the cruise, it's just stress. It's just anxiety. How am I getting from here? Did the hotel actually keep the car that I rented? Is it still safe there? How am I getting back to the airport? Can I switch to another flight? That stress, and you don't have anything to look forward to.
Right.
All you have to look forward to is just going back to work.
Yes.
Meanwhile, when I took a Carnival cruise out of Baltimore, I got off the cruise. You're bummed. The cruise is over. The vacation's come to an end. But your car's right there.
Oh, yes.
And it couldn't be more convenient to get back in your car and just drive home and get back to life.
Exactly.
So I'm going to ask you the question, but I know the answer, or at least part of it, because I experienced it.
Exactly.
And comparing the two, there's no compare. I had so much stress with my 2 kids and my wife in Fort Lauderdale trying to change. Oh, we got off the cruise earlier than we thought. I don't want to sit around in an airport for 6 hours. Can we change flights? Are we just going to be sitting there with these 2 idiot kids running around trying to break everything? I don't want to deal with that. When you cruise out of Baltimore, you don't have to worry about those things.
Glenn, you are so right. That's one of the things that people love about cruising out of Baltimore is the convenience, our location. We're right off of 95, right? We have people that come down from Connecticut.
Right below the tunnel, by the way. I mean, right below the tunnel.
Right there.
Yep.
They don't want to have to deal with the congestion going into some of the other ports. So Baltimore is so easy because you're driving down 95 and you are right at the cruise terminal. You pull in, as you mentioned, you park your car, and then you go right to the building. check in.
It's incredibly convenient.
And right to the
it
ship.
It couldn't be more convenient. I got to get a mic switch for you because we're having a small mic problem with this mic, Cindy. I don't want to miss anything you're saying. It's very important. We're going to switch out mics, and I will switch out as well.
You want to take the
Yep, 100%. I apologize wholeheartedly, but we're going to get that fixed right now so that everybody, I apologize for that. But Cindy, we're talking about why Baltimore, and yes, the convenience. The convenience of cruising out of Baltimore, there is no comparison to it. It's just so remarkably convenient.
And you really don't know it until you go to another port, like you mentioned, and you go there and you realize, oh, this is not Baltimore. This is not as easy. It's not as convenient. People love it. They absolutely love it. We have so many repeat cruisers out of Baltimore because the experience is so wonderful. They come back a second time, a third time. A lady just called me yesterday. She's going to be on the ship for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Oh
3 weeks.
Gosh.
Right. Wouldn't that be
oh
wouldn't
My gosh. Man. My parents cruise like that, though.
Oh, do they really?
They are, absolutely. They are regular cruisers.
Okay, you have to let me know when they're coming. I'd
will,
love to greet them.
100% make
I would
sure.
love to greet
I know
them.
they've got one planned for later this year. I will get the details.
Yeah,
on
please
it.
do.
I will.
Please do. I would love to greet them. But getting back to why Baltimore, the convenience is by far one of the best things that we have. The people you drive in, and Glenn, you know this because you've done it.
Mm-hmm.
You drive in, and the porters are taking your luggage. Yep. And you're parking your car.
Well, I would even compare to other ports. The process itself is actually easier than I've been through in other ports, right? Like the process of actually getting in line, getting processed through the line. You know what, Cindy, I'm going to tell you a story. This is straight shoot. So it's very unfortunate. We cruised in 2021.
Yes.
And we had already had some issues. My son was turning 5. The timing of when he needed to get the shot in order to be able to get on. It was just a very complicated. We had already been through a lot.
Right.
Leading up to this cruise.
Yes.
I then arrived, and my wife, God bless her, I love her to death. My wife had packed the wrong. I had an expired passport that for some reason, I don't know why, we still had at our house.
Oh, no.
And instead of packing my current up-to-date passport, she put in the bag my expired passport.
Oh, Glenn.
Now, I'm panicked, right?
Of course.
I'm panicked.
Yes.
Because I don't know this until literally I'm going to show, and then I'm like, oh, no. This is a massive problem.
Oh, my gosh.
And I got to tell you, like, in a panicked, like, high anxiety situation with a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old at the time, unbelievable how the staff there was very understanding. Hey, why don't we have the kids go ahead and go on the boat with your parents who are also going on the cruise? You can hang right here. I was sending for, I think, my producer at the time to go back to my house and get my passport and drive it down for me.
Great.
We're going to find you a place. You can set up right over here. I was just like watching the Orioles game on my phone. They said, I promise you, that ship is not going to leave without you. We're going to make sure everything's taken care of. The unbelievable courtesy that was shown to me in a very stressful situation with young kids blew my mind.
Wonderful.
That experience at the port was top notch.
Wonderful.
And much more pleasant than the other ports that I'd say other ports. It's one other port. I only have one to compare to, but the other port that I've been to.
Well, one thing, we have won awards for our customer service. Customer service is very important to us. And the Intercruises company, they provide all the check-in agents, and they are trained to make sure that customer knows, they feel like they're the only one. Every customer, when they come to our port, you're the only one. That's how we make you feel.
I felt it.
Yes,
I felt it.
Yes, and Carnival and Royal, they both use Intercruises. Carnival and Royal constantly doing training with Intercruises to make sure that customer service is felt.
It blew my mind. I mean, it's something that looking back, I should have written a letter to you and to the people involved to ask for accommodations for the staff because they were incredible.
Wonderful. That's good to hear.
Incredible in that experience, and it did a lot for me. And again, a very stressful situation.
Exactly.
A lot going on.
Exactly.
And they could not have been better. They were like, you're not going to have to wait through the line again.
Yes.
You're not going to have to do any of that. We know what's going on. We know the situation. We understand. You know this from dealing with people in customer service. where you're like,
Exactly.
look, I can acknowledge that I screwed up.
Right.
But also, can you meet me? I'm just asking that you meet me halfway.
Yes.
Understand how genuine this is, how this is a mistake that can occur.
Yes.
And can you work with me? I know you can't put me on the boat because
Right.
my passport is expired. I get it.
Right.
But can you recognize how this may have happened and that and they were unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yes,
The
yes.
moment
Yes.
that this person arrived with my current passport, they allowed me they walked with me out so I didn't have to go through the whole
Correct.
system. They
Yes.
walked with me out to retrieve the passport,
Yes.
escorted me back in
Yes.
to the desk. I've never experienced anything like it.
Well,
I mean,
Glenn,
it
you know
was-
what? That is so good to hear. We hear it a lot, though.
Yeah.
We hear it from people. Let me tell you the latest one. When we had the big snowstorm
Sure.
and the people came back with flip-flops and shorts
Oh, right.
from their cruise.
And they got ice everywhere.
They have snow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, cars covered in snow because we can't touch the cars.
Mm-hmm.
But when the people came back, we had from our executive director on down throughout our organization, including the Allied Security, including the ILA, including the maintenance team, everybody was there with shovels to help the people
awesome.
get out
That's
of the
awesome.
snow.
That's great.
We received so many compliments from people saying that the stress was gone. They had
That's-
stress looking off when they could see from
Yep.
the ship.
Yep.
The car is
You
covered.
panic. This
What are
is-
we gonna do?
But
right?
you don't even know if you have like a brush in the
No,
back
no,
of your
most
car,
of the people
right?
did not.
Yeah,
No.
because you're not prepared for it.
No,
You're
because
not
we have
thinking about
people
it.
driving from all different places, and they don't all have that
It's
equipment.
a game changer.
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
It's like our again location. We are drawing people, as I mentioned, all the way from
Yeah.
Connecticut, all the way down. People come up from North Carolina. People want to come to a port that treats them like they're the only one, and has the convenience of the parking, as you mentioned
Yep,
earlier.
right there.
Right, the
Right,
ILA.
literally right. This is not like when you go to an airport, you got to take like 3 trams.
Correct.
In order to get to where you're. It is right,
Right.
there.
It's right there,
You
exactly.
are getting off the boat, and there's your car.
And there is your car,
It
exactly.
could not
yes,
be more convenient
exactly.
that way.
And our ILA gentlemen, our porters, they are excellent with helping the passengers with their luggage to take it to the cars. So
it's awesome.
We
It's
try to
awesome.
think of everything to make sure that your experience, that every passenger has a story like you, Glenn.
Cindy Berman, Director of Cruise Marketing and Business Services for Cruise Maryland, with us here on GCR. Cindy, what is new with Cruise Maryland and the port and the cruise business at this point? What is new in 2026?
Well, let me just tell you that cruising is one of the best ways to vacation. If a person hasn't done it, they should try it. Once you get on the ship, everything's there for you. Everything. So we have Carnival, who offers year-round cruising from Baltimore. Royal, who has offered year-round cruising from Baltimore. I'm sure people have heard that Royal is not going to be offering year-round service this year. And October will be their last voyage for this year. But then they return in April of 27. And then they'll cruise again through October.
Okay.
That's called a seasonal cruise.
Okay.
Okay? So they're not here in the winter months.
Okay.
What our good partners at Carnival did is they offered us another ship.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're going to have 2 ships for Carnival Cruise Lines in 2027. So they're going to fill the gap that Royal is leaving.
So remind me because I'm trying to remember, was it the Celebration that I was on? What are the 2 Carnival ships?
So the ships that we have, the ship that we
Yeah.
have now is the Carnival Pride.
Maybe that's what it was.
And they're going to bring us also the Carnival Miracle.
Okay.
And so the thought people, we want to make sure people understand the Pride is going to continue with their 7-day voyages to the wonderful destinations. The new ship, the Miracle, is going to go have longer voyages. It's going to go to some places maybe that Carnival hasn't gone to before.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that will be coming out. But that's exciting news for us that we will continue to have year-round service with Carnival. and then a seasonal service with Carnival Miracle, and Royal Caribbean continue with their seasonal service. So instead of us having just 2 ships calling Baltimore, we'll have 3.
That's awesome. I love everything about that. Cindy, where do people go to find out more about Cruise Maryland?
They can go to cruise.maryland.gov.
And I'm telling you, I cannot stress enough, having done it in multiple places, it is so much more pleasant. It is so much. The other thing, too, I'm just going to add, it's a little, you get an extra. I love sea days.
Yes.
On a cruise.
Yes.
Because you're on this, you cannot experience everything on this boat.
Exactly.
You're in this floating city.
Yes.
You cannot experience all the things on the boat during the course of the week. It gets you another day.
Exactly.
To experience all of the things that are on the boat that you're paying the money to be able to experience.
Glenn, that's a great point, because there are some people who will say, no, I don't want to be on the ship, on the water. I want to be on a ship where I can be at every port every day. But they're missing it, Glenn.
You are in
oh
this
my gosh.
floating city, and there are so many cool things on this boat that you don't even know exist.
I know. It's so much fun. But let me tell you, one of my favorites is a massage. So, I work very
you and
hard.
Mrs. Clark the same. Every time we go, she's like, you're getting me a massage.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
I'm getting you.
Massages are great wherever you get them. But until you experience one on a ship, it is wonderful. Oh, I just love it. That's one of my favorites. And I'm a party person, Glenn.
Yep.
So I love the atmosphere of the karaoke,
Yep.
the piano bars, the discos.
Bingo.
And then, the bingo. And they also have entertainment.
Yep.
That you would not believe, like a Broadway show.
And I'll add one other. I might need to start doing the commercials with you. I'll add one more thought, which is a lot of times when you plan out the trip, you say, well, on this sea day, we can go do, like, the kids can get on the slides and all that stuff. But then that's the day where there's bad weather.
Right.
And so what I would say is add one more. Now that can be your backup plan.
Right.
Add the sea day. If you cruise out of Baltimore, you know that first day is going to be a sea day.
Correct.
And you get to go experience all that stuff. So if on your second sea day you got bad weather and you don't want to be out there, or they, for whatever reason, have to close the slides or something like that on that day, you have made sure that you have experienced those and you're not left there saying, oh, darn, we missed out.
Exactly. Well, even with bad weather, Glenn, there's so much to do on the ship.
That is true, too.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean,
that
there's
is very
so
true.
there's something for everyone. I tell people all the time, cruising is the best vacation because there's something for everyone to do.
I had not gone on. My parents were always cruise people.
Yes.
I had not been on a cruise. Then I said, I get it. I understand why. I eat way too much. That is part
I
of the
know.
problem.
Let's not talk about that.
But I don't take the elevators.
Oh, okay. There you go.
When I'm on a cruise.
Yes.
I always go up and downstairs and try to offset a little bit
exactly.
of that.
Well, they have a gym too,
and we go every day.
Yeah, you go to the gym
Every
and
day.
work out.
And it's actually the coolest workout that you have because the view is
is
unreal.
Oh my
gosh,
gosh, yes,
unreal. The
yes.
gym, it's always at the front of the ship.
Yeah,
yeah. And it's just an unbelievable view whenever you're working.
It's very nice. It's very nice.
Cindy, love what you guys do. Always love seeing you here.
Thank you, Glenn.
Appreciate you being a partner with us, and
Thank you.
I look forward to my next cruise.
Well, please.
Out of Baltimore, I think in 2027.
Okay.
I think is when we're looking at it.
Okay.
But I'll talk to you more
well,
about it.
this is a good time to book. It's called Wave Season. It's coming up. I think it ends the end of March, where the cruise lines will have a lot of discounted rates. So it's a good time to book for next year.
All right.
So contact your travel agent.
I'm on
and book your cruise for 2027, Glenn.
I'm on it. Thank you, Cindy. So great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll come back in. We'll get a tidbit and two-bit or wind things down for a Wednesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
March Mania is on at Live Casino. And you can get a front row seat for all the action at Sports and Social. Raise your game with massive wall-to-wall TVs. And raise a cheer with your favorite beers, cocktails, and an all-star menu. Best of all, you could win huge prizes every game. Don't get benched. Book your table at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack. Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, costasin.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
This is Byron Warnken. If you've been injured in a car or truck crash, you probably know this is stressful. Medical bills, the insurance company giving you the runaround, you got to get your car fixed. You don't just need a lawyer, you need results. At Warnken LLC, we represent the injured across Maryland. Whether it's a car or truck crash case, medical malpractice, or any other serious personal injury, we fight for maximum compensation for you and maximum ease for you. You don't want to have to deal with this stuff. Warnken LLC has been voted best personal injury law firm in Maryland for a reason. For us, 443 Results isn't just a phone number, it's our mission. Get the advocate that you need. Call us today, 443 Results, or visit us online, warnkenlaw.com. That's WARNKENLAW.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR as we wind down for a Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, we talked about it briefly with Drew. I don't. You've seen the Maxx Crosby clips. We don't have to go through them the way that I thought we might because we had so much going on today. I would just say it's funny. I had people around the country like, "There's no way it takes 2 hours to get from D.C. to Baltimore." Well, as we all know, yes, that's very. And particularly, I don't know if they've. I don't know if he meant Reagan or Dulles. Like, if it's Dulles, it might have taken 3 hours, obviously. Like, why did the Ravens have him fly to D.C. instead of Baltimore? I don't know, man. He said they had him fly first class, so, like, it might just very well be that there wasn't a direct flight to BWI where there was first class availability, and so that's what they were able to do. None of that stuff. Like, do the Ravens look good in all of this? No, they don't look good. But this notion that any of it is, like, proof that the Ravens had pre-identified between Saturday and Monday that they weren't going to make the trade and that the actions he said he didn't see Jesse Minter until late in the day, that's proof that they were never going to complete the trade. It's nonsense. Whatever you want to believe, if you want to believe the Ravens had some sort of conspiracy that they decided to make a trade and then decided the next day they didn't want to make the trade and that they just wanted to use the medicals, I can't say this enough. The Ravens didn't have to have the medicals to not make the trade. The Ravens could decide the next day, on Saturday, we don't want to make this trade. We've changed our mind. Until the trade was processed, the Ravens didn't need any reason to back out of the trade. If that's all it was that they decided they didn't want to make the trade a day later, then they could have just said, you know what, we screwed this up. We actually, in hindsight, it's too rich for our blood. Sorry. And they had done that, they would have then known more about their situation going into Monday and the start of the new league year. Now, those of you that believe the grand conspiracy theory that they only made this decision because they found out Trey Hendrickson's market had come down, and once they saw that we'll never be able to address all of the conspiracy theories. And as I said before, there might be a line where Trey Hendrickson was a factor in the decision-making. What I personally, not based off just personally, I don't believe the answer is the physical had zero to do with it. I don't believe that. Now, I can't prove it. I don't know that. But I believe they saw something looking at the physical, and I believe that based on the evidence of other doctors coming out and saying things about it, and the fact that all of a sudden nobody else was interested in trading for Maxx Crosby, which does suggest that evidence suggests there's a problem that goes beyond just his return from the meniscus this year. That evidence stacks up to make it seem like there's a little bit more going on there. To those that have questioned, well, what's the line? If Trey Hendrickson if he had signed at noon on Monday with the Patriots, and he was off the board, and there wasn't the ability to pivot, would the Ravens have been more inclined to figure out a way to make the deal work? I don't know. Maybe. I can't say that there's no connection whatsoever between the two things. I can't tell you that there is no place where the two things meet. But the full-on conspiracy theory of the Ravens just decided they didn't want to trade for Maxx Crosby, and that's why they treated him like crap, and that's, again, I don't believe the dead body thing. I have been asking around for a story that would back that up. I have not been able to find it. That smells like Maxx Crosby just trying to, oh, it's Baltimore. Anybody believe that? You know, it's murders all the time. That's what it smells like. Now, you know, if somebody presents evidence to me that says, well, actually, no, we did discover a dead body outside of this hotel, then I will change my tune about that. But I have been attempting to poke around on that, and I have not found anything that corroborates it to this point. And the 2-hour thing, as Drew pointed out in the car, dude, that's called traffic. Like, that's... have you ever been... Maxx Crosby, have you been to Los Angeles? Like, that's traffic. That's the way it works. And based on the time of day he said it was, that completely checks out. No, if it had been Reagan to Baltimore at 9 o'clock at night, it's unlikely it would have taken 2 hours. Although as someone who worked a lot of nights in D.C., there were plenty of times where I was stuck I was stuck on the Parkway from 1 in the morning until 3. I'm like, well, good. You know, the nice thing about working late night at 106.7 or Sirius XM is that I might have a quicker drive home. And it turns out, not the case whatsoever. I'm just stuck sitting on the Parkway. We've all been there. But none of it says to me, this was clearly a conspiracy. They didn't want to talk to Maxx Crosby, anything along those lines. It just feels more like that was the way the process of the day went. And this was always going to happen. Maxx Crosby was always going to say his piece. He said his piece. The Ravens have said whatever they're going to say, however you feel, you're allowed to feel. The notion that it's going to impact the Ravens' ability to sign players or trade for players is silly. That's just not how the NFL works. The only question now is ultimately, did they make the right decision in the end? And as I said before, we won't know that. If Maxx Crosby has 5 outstanding years with the Raiders, where he is first-team All-Pro for the next 5 years, and Trey Hendrickson has 1 good year in Baltimore and then aging sort of sets in, then we might look back in 5 years and say, turns out the Ravens were wrong. They should have made the Maxx Crosby trade. But we just can't know that right now. We can't possibly know that today as much as everybody wants to. In this moment, this is just where we are. The Ravens have Trey Hendrickson. The Raiders have Maxx Crosby. We'll see how it plays out for both. And they have the 2 first-round picks they would have had to trade. Let's get a tidbit. Tidbit is brought to you today by the print issue of Press Box, which is still available for free at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. You can go pick up your copy right now. It's got Cal Ripken on the cover. Great story from Dave Ginsburg. Go get it there. Any of the hundreds of locations around town where you find Press Box. Read it for free at PressBoxOnline.com. What you got for tidbit?
I liked our conversation with Storm Davis this morning. It was good to hear from him, and congrats to him on going to the Orioles Hall of Fame this summer. He was one of many Orioles to wear number 34. Just name me maybe 4 others who donned number 34 all time for the Orioles.
I feel like we were just talking about this with Stan. You know, Stan's a big number person. And I feel like he was telling me that the number 34 was not a very impressive number in Orioles history.
You know, I was gonna do 19 with you originally, and I may do that again later on because that list is impressive. But 34 is okay, depending on what name you pluck.
34 is okay.
We'll do 4 names.
I'm trying to remember if this is definitively the number that Stan and I were talking about, because if it was, man. Was this the number that Chris Benson wore in Baltimore?
Yes,
Okay,
Chris
then this
Benson
is
is
definitely the
one.
number. All right.
Chris Benson
This
is
is
one.
definitely the number that Stan was talking about, because I found out, and I did not know this, so that you did not know that Stan and I legitimately had a conversation 2 weeks ago about the number 34, because it's the number Shane Boz is wearing, correct?
Yes.
And Stan thinks it's a bad number, and Stan thinks he shouldn't wear the number. And he was trying to sell it to me. He said, there's not a great history of 34 in Baltimore. And he brought up Chris Benson. He also told me a story I did not know. I do this for a living, and I've done it for a long time. I did not know that Brooks Robinson wore the number 34 before he wore the number 5.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah, I see it right
no
there.
clue that Brooks Robinson wore the number 34 before he ever wore the number 5. I would have gone to my grave believing that Brooks Robinson had only worn the number 5 in Baltimore. Now,
It's a long way to the top.
I don't remember who else.
Do you want to do 19, if that's a more impressive list?
19, because that's Chris Davis.
Yeah. If you already talked about 34, you probably know a decent amount.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
We'll keep going with 34.
I don't know if I remember those two being the two that stood out to me, and Boz, obviously, because that was how the conversation started. I don't remember anybody else that wore the number 34. Who else is on the list?
I got Fernando Valenzuela.
Oh, right. Yeah, Stan did bring that up.
For 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Millwood was my first 34.
Okay.
16 losses that year. Arrieta had it briefly for a couple years.
Oh, yeah, right. I did know that, yeah.
Kevin Gausman switched when Roy Halladay passed away. He honored Halladay with 34.
Remember that. Okay.
Right, that was briefly before he was traded at the dumpster fire deadline. Jonathan VR briefly before he switched to number 2.
Okay.
And then I'll throw a couple others. Matt Albers, Aaron Hicks, Joey Crable amongst a long list of number 34s. It's mediocre.
Yep. That's what Stan was trying to suggest. Stan was trying to convince that Shane Bosch needs to change his number. Maybe
he'll start a new trend.
Maybe become the guy that makes number 34 famous in Baltimore. All right, very good. Let's get tubular.
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
All right, here's what's coming up totally tubular-wise. The Orioles are about to get underway this afternoon as they finally play baseball again. Actually, did they play yesterday? They did. They played yesterday, finishing a tie. It was Sunday and Monday that they weren't able to play. But they play the Blue Jays. This one's on TV on Masson at 107. Albert Suarez and Josh Fleming, the pitching matchup there. Navy hoops in action tonight as they play in the NIT down at Wake Forest, 7 o'clock on ESPNU. And NCAA Tournament continues tonight on True TV, Prairie View and Lehigh at 6:40. Miami, Ohio, big storyline this season. The Red Hawks nearly going undefeated. They take on SMU at 9:15 on True TV as well. The Capitals host the Senators at 7:30 on Monumental. And everything else you can find at GlennClarkRadio.com. Thanks today to Drew Forrester. Thanks to, you just saw her, Cindy Burnham from Cruz, Maryland. And thanks to Storm Davis for checking in with us. We'll get all of it up in the greatest hits section of the...
Oh, yeah. The R.
No, you get R. You got to give it really like you're a pirate, Grant. Archives. Say it.
Oh, archives.
No, chives. We do it that way. R and like you're a pirate. Come on, sell it, Grant. Sell it.
It's my first time.
I know, but you can do this. No. You got to push. Archives. Like you're a pirate, man. Come
I
on.
meant to that time. Archives.
There we go. Tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. Hopefully we'll remember that tomorrow. Tomorrow on the program, Juju Reese is going to join us. We're talking hoops this week, and Juju Reese made his NBA debut recently with the Washington Wizards and has been killing it at the start of his NBA career. Baltimore native, former Terp, will be checking in with us. Also, we will catch up with UMBC head coach Jim Ferry. As disappointed and as much of a bummer as it was that they fell just one shot short last night. If only DJ Armstrong shot it again and had gone in. They had a furious comeback in the late moments. But we'll talk to him about their amazing season and winning the America East tournament. So he will join us tomorrow as well, and stuff and things. And I swear to God, you guys better fill the bracket contest in the meantime. You better do it. Look, I'm just being as honest as I can. We are on track for it to be the smallest contest that we've done in years. And that's a huge bummer. And look, I'm not stunned because Maryland was bad this year and we were checked out on college basketball. But, like, come on, man. We're doing it for charity. Fill the bracket contest. I guarantee you know more about college basketball than Grant does. Guarantee it. And he got in.
Yeah, I already do.
Half the pot to the winner, half the pot to show your soft side. At Glenn-Clark on Venmo, Glenn Clark 180 on PayPal, Glenn Clark Radio on Cash App, and then let me know you got in. GlennClarkRadio@gmail.com, and I'll get you the link. You got to get in today because the games start tomorrow. Help us fill this thing up. Let's go. Our annual bracket contest. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Live Casino and Hotel, the Costas Inn, Cruz, Maryland, Baltimore area High's Dairy Stores, Leading Edge Auto Body, Warnken Law, 1-800-GAMBLER, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, Quigley's Half Irish Pub, CountySports.zone, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin. Thanks to Grant at G DeVivo 20.
Flip the 20. 20 G DeVivo.
20 G DeVivo.
You got it.
Sorry,
You
on
got it.
Instagram.
No, you're good.
Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Wednesday.